Welcome to our Python class. So now we are going to discuss about Python module. That means, so in the functions we are having so many modules. So that should be create, right? So here a module allows us to logically organize our Python code. That is, grouping related code into a module makes the code easier to understand and use. Once we create the module, so that is very useful to use in any other programs, right? Once the module can be created and that can be stored in one place, and that is used to of course that is also can be used to in other programs by using the module name. So here already mentioned, module makes the code easier to understand and use, right? Here a module is a Python object with arbitrary named attributes that we can bind and reference, right? So in another program we can use the module, so that is binding, and we can reference that. And now simply a module is a file consisting of Python code. So already I told that, right? The module contains what? It is a file consisting of Python code, and a module can define functions, classes, and also variables. So let us discuss for module. For that, here it is one example. These are the module of Python. We are creating this module with a name of demo md.py. Let us create this. This is copy, and what you are doing the programs, just use the same path for all the programs. So that's why Control N, Control V. So that's why I'm using same folder for all programs, right? So you can you should store all the programs in one folder when you are creating the programs. So here I'm giving this name as demo md.py. So don't forget this demo md.py. If you give another name you can use, but that don't forget that name when you are using in other programs. Then save it, save. So that is saved. So here it is, no execution, no, we won't get any output here. So why? Because this is only we created only modules. We cannot using that. Now we are going to use that. Let us see how. So let us see, the above Python code is a module named add, subtraction, multiplication, resides in a file named demo md.py. Just we saved that. So see here, we are defining add. In that add, a comma b arguments we used, that is total equal to a plus b, and we are printing that total. So also subtraction, for subtraction we given x comma y arguments. So for that, sub equal to x minus y, and print sub. And here multiplication, that is mul. So here l comma m arguments, and here it is l into m, and print mul, right? Let us see how we are using this module in another place. So see, that can be used by an import statement. So here see, we can use any Python source code file like which we created, that is demo md.py, as a module by executing an import statement in some other Python source file. So that is, the syntax is import module 1 comma module 2 comma and up to module n, etc. So when the interpreter encounter an import statement it imports the module. If the module is present in the search path, then automatically the program will also be executes by using the import statement. Like see here, so here it is one example. So import demo md and demo md dot subtraction of 20 comma 10. That means, so which I mentioned this sub function, the arguments are x comma y. The x value will takes as a 20 and that y value will takes as 10. So already I mentioned that is demo md dot. That means from demo md the value can be this 20 comma 10 can be treated as x comma y. So then automatically the 20 will assign to x, the 10 will assign to y. And also demo md dot add 100 comma 200, demo md dot add 10 comma 20, demo md dot sub 5 comma 6. Let us see one by one how the program will executes. Copy, Control N, paste, save it, import. Save it. So automatically we will get the output when I click on run module. So here it is, sub 20, that is subtraction 20 minus 10, 10, 100 comma 100 plus 200, that is 300, 10 plus 20 add, that is 30, subtraction 5 minus 6, that is minus 1. So if you mentioned here, so another one we can do, that is demo md dot mul. So 2 comma 3, then run this, 6 we will get, right? 6 we got. Okay, so this is our importing by using import statement by using a Python module. And so here a module is loaded only once, rectangles of the number of times it is imported, right? And this prevents the module execution from happening over and over again if multiple imports occurs. So how many times we need, so that much of times we can import that, and also we can execute that. And the next one is from import statement. Here Python from statement, that is from, let us import into current namespace, that is the form of, so here the following, let us see, from module name import name 1 comma name 2 comma name 3 so on name n. So for that, here for example to import the function sub module from module demo md, use the following statement, that is from demo md import sub. So here in previous just we are only import demo md. So this means all arguments we are getting, but here, so which we need the subtask, that only we are getting. Suppose if we need only submodule sub function from the demo md, so we can use. So that purpose we are using from demo md import sub. So we are not getting add multiplication, but we are only getting sub. So that purpose we are using the, so from import. So that is the main useful. So here that is for demo md import from demo md from demo md నుండి, so import, then import చేసుకుంటున్నాం, sub ని import చేసుకుంటున్నాం. So that is the thing. So this is the using of from import statement, right? And here from import statement, and here we are also having another one, that is from import asterisk statement. Let us see. So what is the using of this? So it is also possible to import all namespaces from a module into the current namespace. So present which we are creating the program, in that programs, so we can also import the module from the Python modules, I mean like demo MD, right? So that is the thing, and that is the thing of this line and namespace by using the following statements. Here let us see. From module name import asterisk, that is, this provides an easy way to import all the items from a module into the current namespace. So when we are using this asterisk, not only a sub, total we are getting, that is add, subtraction, multiplication, that means all the items we can import from the modules, right? So that is from demo MD import asterisk. So this is the using of from import asterisk statement. Next, our concept is generating random numbers. So already I hope all the people are known for random number. Suppose if there is a 1 to 100 numbers, so you select random numbers. I am saying select the random numbers. Then what numbers you are choosing? Randomly you are choosing. That means not especially special number, right? So that is the thing. So here random numbers are useful for lots of different programming tasks. So different programming tasks లలో మనము random numbers యూజ్ చేయడం అనేది జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది. And the following are some applications of random numbers. So here see the examples for the random numbers. So here the random numbers are commonly used in games. That is, for example, computer games that let the player roll dice use random numbers to represent the value of dice, right? So which is we are using the die. So the die contains one side 1 dot, another side 2 dots, another side 3 dots, another side 4 dots, another side 5 dots, like. So when we are using that dice for the games, so automatically one time we are getting one number, another time we are getting another number. So that that don't have any specific number, right? So see randomly we are getting. So that is the thing. And then second one, program that show cards being drawn from a shuffled deck use random numbers to represent the face value of cards. So also random numbers are useful in simulation programs, and in some simulations the computer must randomly decide how a person or how a animal or how a animal or any other insect or other living beings will behave, right? So that is the thing also under random numbers. And formulas can be constructed in which a random number is used to determine various actions and events that take place in the program. And random numbers are useful in statistical programs that much randomly select date for analysis. So also the random numbers are commonly used in computer security to encrypt sensitive data. Suppose if I send the data from one to another one, so then automatically we will use one security program. So in that program we are using random numbers. So like suppose if you are if you are getting any message for going to next step, we are getting the OTP, right? So for when we are entering that OTP, automatically we will move on to the next step. That OTP is also considered into the security, that is random numbers. Under comes random numbers. So sometimes in bank sectors or any others, when we are performing an operations, we will get the message as a OTP. So that OTP will valid until 7 minutes, right? So after 7 minutes, another random number will generates. So that is the thing, right? And here, how to use the random numbers, right? Here, the Python provides several library functions for working with random numbers. These functions are stored in a module called random in the standard library. And to use any of these functions, you first need to write import statement at the top of the program. So if you want to generate the random, then first of all you have to import the random module, right? The random is already predefined, and so this is a example for the random numbers how to import, right? This statement causes the interpreter to load the contents of random module into a memory, and this makes all of the functions in the random module available to our program, right? So which we are writing the program presently. So in that program the random module will works, right? The interpreter will do that work. Then these are 4 functions in random module. So one is randint, next randrange, and third one random, and fourth one is uniform, right? So here see the randint. The randint is used to give random numbers as integers. The random numbers can use only as integers. To use randint, we use dot notation in our program, that is number equal to, we are taking one variable, that is variable name is number, equal to, we are assigning the value, that is random dot. Already we imported, which we imported, that is import random from that. So random dot randint of, in the function there is the values, that is 1 comma 100. That means 1 to 100 what numbers will display, we don't know that, right? So that is the thing, that values can be assigned to the number. So that is the randint. So for that, so this is the example for that. So here let us see, copy, paste, run. So here we are importing, that is import random, and defining main function, right, followed by colon and number equal to random dot randint 1 comma 100, then print the number is number, right? So which are loaded into this number, so that can be prints in the main function, right? Let us check. Randint dot py saved, then check it, the number is 6, and give the run another time, the number is 4, run another time, number is 5, run again 1, again 5, and again 9, and again. So this is called randint. In next one, so this is the next example. In that randint, another program is there. Copy, take new, paste, and here main. So here mention, you have to import random. So and next defining main function. So for already we seen this for loop, for count this is iterating variable. In this is the range function, range of 5, that means 5 values will display, and x equal to random dot rand int, that is 1 comma 100, print x, that is which values are loaded in x argument, then automatically that can be prints, and that can be called to the main function, right? So by called by the main function, then save it, run module, import for dot py, save it. Let us see. 5 values we got, right? So in the range we given 5, so that's why we got 5 values. Suppose if we gives 6 here, then run again, the 6 values will be prints. Let us check. 55, 21, 95, 91, 75. So these are random numbers from between 1 to 100. So this is the another output for the rand int. And the next one, rand range. So rand range, the next one is the rand range. The rand range takes the same arguments as the range function. So in the arguments range which is given, so that is the that arguments will here the rand range takes the same arguments as the range functions, right? So in the range functions, same arguments we are using, and the difference is that the rand range, that is, does not return a list of values, that does not return a list of value. Instead it returns a randomly selected value from a sequence of values. So the randomly selected value will be prints by using the rand range. So here number equal to random dot rand range of 10, that is the 10 only will be prints. In the above example, the argument 10 specifies the ending limit of the sequence of values. That means the function will return a randomly selected number from the sequence of values 0 to 9, that is 10 values prints, right? So but not 10 included, remember, okay? And in the next one, number equal to random comma rand range 5 comma 10, that means the first starting value is 5, the ending value is 10, right? That means the 5 to 9, up to 9, that values will be prints. And here the another example is there, that is number equal to random dot rand range 0, 101, 10, that means the starting value is 0 and the ending value is 101, that means up to 100 values will be prints by increments, that is 10, that is 0, 10, 20, 30, etc., right? So that is the value above statement specifies a starting value and ending value limit and a step value, right? Though how the value will increments, that should be indicates this one, okay? So here random numbers, that is 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, etc., etc. Here it is not 20, that is 30, okay? And the third one is random. The random returns a random floating point, not integer point, that is floating point number. We do not pass any arguments to the random. When we call it, it returns a random floating point number in the range of 0.0 up to 1.0, but not including 1.0. That means the value should be prints up to 0.99. Clear? So here number equal to random dot random, and the last one uniform. This function also returns a random floating point number but allows you to specify the range of values as arguments, right? And number equal to random dot uniform 1.0 comma 10 comma 0. So this is our concept of range functions, right? So that is also under generating random numbers, and these are random numbers concepts. And the next one, writing your own value returning function or return functions, that we'll see in tomorrow's session. So thank you very much.